Hello stamping friends. So today we are going to make a nice card from the Flowering Cactus Medley. So we will start by prepping our card base so that it looks like this eventually. Some papers are going to be different in some kits. Okay, some are going to be like this one here, or you can have the ones with the different greens. So we'll start by putting the mossy meadow, which is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we'll glue that to the base of the card. That'll be our matting piece. It's very dark, it seems like. And it's just a very small border. It's like 1/8 of a border, 1/8 border all around. Okay. And then we're going to add the DSP that comes from the Flowering Cactus Medley. I don't think this color, it looks nice, but once you do the card with the vases, it doesn't look, it's too busy for what we want. So we're going to put the glue on this side, and this piece is cut at 4 inches by 4 1/4, 5 1/4, sorry. So 4 by 5 1/4. And again, we're just going to be leaving 1/8 of an inch border all around. And there's our card base ready. So now we're going to do the decorating of the card. So we start with a piece of basic white that's cut by, I think it's 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. So on the 3 1/4 side, you're going to have to glue your piece of little crumb cake that you have in your kit, and make sure you put it on the right side and you put it at the bottom. All right. I forgot that I wasn't supposed to glue it right away, but I already did glue it. So it's the same thing. So you just put it at the bottom. Put a little bit of glue behind with either seal or Tombow or whatever adhesive you prefer, and put it at the bottom of the 3 1/4 on that side. So now in your kit, you have 3 vases that have been cut. You could use them on this side if you've got this paper, but I think it's going to be too monochromatic. It's going to be too boring. I think a little punch of color helps. So even with this paper, I find that it's too much. It sort of blends in. You can't really see the vases properly. So, but if you put them on this side, I think you can see them a little bit more with the contrast of the white, of course. So in order to do this, I gave you 3 vases that will sort of like prepare to put them right here so that you know about where they want to go. Okay, so I chose the longer one. I mean, you can, put them in the whatever order you want, you decide. I prefer this way. So I gave you 3 white cardstock that I also punched in it. This is from the Varied Vases punch that's available in the annual catalog. Right. So the reason I gave you these is because I want them to be a little bit more sturdy, but also it also permits you to put in the stems. If you didn't get the stamp set, you don't have stems. It does come with a little bit of a stems so that you can stamp them. But since we don't have stems, we're going to have to make our own, and that's fine. It'll still look nice. You'll see. So in my original card, I made the stems to be mossy green with the stamp. Okay, so with the stamp. But with this one here, well, we don't want to stamp. So, but you're going to have to find either a marker or something that's green, anything, any kind of marker, or even if you have some stamp sets that have like lines, you can use that. You just need to do a little line for the flowers. So with the bigger vase, so the way I want it is that I want to put 2 flowers in this vase, 2 flowers in this vase here, and 3. So I'm going to have 2 stems coming out of this vase and 2 of these, but 3 out of this one. You don't want them too long, but you want them long enough so that you can, then, you know, you can put the flowers. They won't show, you know, when you put the flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it on the marker side. There's a writing side, which I think that probably could come, but it, you know, it wouldn't be thick enough. So I'm going to use this side, right? So I figure this one is going to be in the middle. Okay. So I can start here because I'm going to be covering this. So I know that I want to put 3 flowers in this one. So I'll probably put one like this, one like that, and maybe one like this. And don't worry, it's going to be covered, you know. So, and then I'm going to put 2 out of this one. Okay. I want to make him about the same size. But don't worry, this will be covered by the flower. Same thing with this one. I think I'll make this one a little bit longer. Okay. So now what we can do is we've got our stems put in. Now what you can do is I would glue this on top of the white stem, or you can just decide that you just want to do this. You know, it's up to you. I prefer it being sturdy. So I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow glue on my vase. I find that it gives it a little bit more dimension. And I will put a dimensional behind there. But I'm going to do them all first. I'm going to glue them all first. It's nice with the Tombow glue because it does give you a chance to slide it around. Last one. Oops, stay in camera view. Sorry about that. All right, so I have my 3 vases. Okay, so now I can get my dimensionals. So I have the big dimensionals. So we'll see how many I want to put in. So I think I'll put a big one here. I think I'd like a small one, small dimensional at the top here. All right, so that one's ready to go. The next one here, I think I'll put 2 big ones. Ready to go. This one. I use the Mossy Meadow to make my stems, but if you want, you can always, you know, use Pear Pizzazz or Old Olive, I think. Those would work too. Okay, so I can start putting them in. So I remove the backing. I always like to start with the middle one. And I put the vase just a wee bit on the crumb cake, just a wee bit, okay? So it doesn't look as if the vase is, you don't want it to be just on top, well, sort of beside it, because you don't want it, don't want any of the white showing, because then it'll look as if the vase is floating in the air. Okay. All right. There, there's the second one. We'll do the last one. Try to make it same area showing there. So just a little bit. There we go. So there's our 3 vases. Now it's time to put the flowers. So with the flowers, what I did is I put one down. I glued one with just Tombow glue on the one side. And I put a small dimensional behind the second one, just to give it, you know, dimension. So put this one maybe like that. All right. And then for the middle ones, as you can see, like depending, you know, I want 2 the same color on either side, and then the middle usually is going to be a different color. All right. So on the middle one, what I've done is I've put glue on this one here for the middle stem. Okay. Yeah, it will cover the other stem, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll put a small dimensional on this one flower and on the other one. My fingers are full of glue. All right. So, all right. How do I want to place this? I think I'll place one right here like that. Even though it's on the other one, it touches the other one, that's okay. It'll make it look fuller. And then the other one on the other side. There we go. All right. Now I'll do the other one. I think this one, I'll glue the one on the inside rather than on the outside. Maybe put it a little bit underneath the other one on the other side. Okay. And this one I will pop up on a small dimensional. There we go. There's our vase ready to go. So now on this, we're going to add the ribbon before we glue it to the card. So you just, and here's my little trick again, you know, to make sure that it stays. I'm going to add a glue dot, well, about, so sort of like in the middle here, right here, so that my ribbon stays. Oh, where's my bone folder? I usually like my bone folder to do that. And then I'll put it right here, about here. Okay. So then I try to find the middle of my ribbon. It's about the middle, yeah. So that it stays and it's easier to tie and it won't show. Oh, sorry, out of the camera view again. Okay, so all I'm doing really here is making a knot. I'm not doing a bow here. I mean, I think you might have enough ribbon to do a bow, but I think it looks nicer with just a knot. I think the bow is a little bit too much, so that way you can, you know. There we go, knot. All right. So now I can cut the excess. So as you can see, I gave you lots of extra. So. All right, so I think now we're ready to put this embellishment on the card. So I put dimensionals on mine to put it on the card. So I'll bring back the card. And we'll do dimensionals. And I put some right on the ribbon there. There, and I think I'll put another one in the middle to make it more stable. So there you go. All right. So now we're going to put it sort of like higher, but not too low. We're going to center it on the sides here, but we're going to put it higher than not in the middle. I don't think it'll look nice. So put it up a little bit. So maybe have the same amount of area here that you have here, the same amount here. So put it up just a wee bit like this. That looks about right. There we go. Now we have the sentiment left to put in. All right. So for this one, I chose it, I'm always here for you. I think that'll be a nice sentiment, you know, give somebody some flowers with a nice saying. All right. I seems to have misplaced my sentiment. No, that's not it. No. Oh, I don't know if I prepped it. Oh yeah, I did. All right, it's right here. All right, so the color I've chosen to do this one is with the Mossy Meadow. All right, so Mossy Meadow, because it is one of the colors that's on the card. All right, so you can add whatever sentiment you want. You know, it can be a thank you card, it can be a birthday card, whatever you choose. Hello there, you know. All right, so hopefully I'm in camera view here so you can see. And of course I'm right over my phone, so it's pretty hard to see. There. But I'd have two sides, so if I don't like this side, I can always do the other side. Yeah, see, I missed the here. It's not very nice. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I didn't press enough. So I'll redo it on the other side. All right. There we go. That's perfect. I like that one. All right. So now you also have a little piece of green that, again, I used the same stamp set that I used in one of the other projects that I've done. I used it's the postage stamp, the rectangular postage stamp punch. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue this. It's a little bit longer. The sentiment is a little bit longer. Okay. You can choose to maybe cut it after. Okay. But I chose to leave it. I like it that it's shorter. Okay, so don't worry if it goes on the other edge. You can either cut it, because then we'll be kind of slipping it underneath here, under the card, so it'll be fine. So I put the glue on the sentiment, not on the green, because it is smaller. Make sure you put on the right side though, right? All right, so I want to have it so that it's just, it looks pretty straight down here. I've got to make sure that it's the same amount of spacing. I think I'm going to have to cut it just a wee bit on this side, or maybe just slide it down a bit. Yeah, just slide it down a bit so that it looks kind of even. All right, that looks good. All right, but you know what? You can turn it over and you can just cut a little bit off. Okay, so but don't cut into the green, just cut the white, not the green. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. All right, I think that I like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slip it underneath, so it doesn't matter that there's a little bit of green there. All right, so this one I didn't prop it up or anything because it's already, there's already dimensionals in the back here. So if I'm going to put it under, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and then just slip it under a bit. Okay, and I can control it. I can control how much is showing, maybe push it down a bit. And there you have it. The card is done. Hope you enjoy making it.